Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about clay, specifically clay, working with clay with children and the types of things that we do here at home, why I enjoy it. And I know a lot of people have asked me about this on my YouTube channel and on my Instagram. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a series. Maybe some people won't like it, but you know, whatever. I'm gonna do a little bit of a series. It's going to start off with the type of clay that I'm gonna show you guys today, and then we're gonna work from there. And this is just basic Crayola clay. It's air dry clay. There is clay that we use that normally would be fired, but we obviously don't do that here, so I just let it air dry. So I'm gonna show you guys a little bit about like preparation and what I do beforehand, because I know that some people have commented that, you know, they understand that I do a lot of art with my children, but the mess makes them nervous, and I totally understand. So with clay, it's all about preparation in advance. Sorry, there's like something's about to fall. It's all about preparation in advance, setting things up. I usually will always set up the materials beforehand because I don't like to have to get up and go and look for materials while my children are playing with clay. I mean, my kids are pretty good. Like, I don't actually have to sit there and watch them. I can go and make dinner and do whatever, and they will, you know, play with the clay. But they've also been using clay for a while. But if you're just getting started, I'm gonna show you guys a cloth that tablecloth that I use that I got at the 99-cent store. It was $1.99, and it's a great tablecloth. It's very long. It's wide enough for the average table, and we use it outside, inside. So if you don't have a backyard or you don't have a patio, if you have a patio but you don't have a backyard, I would totally utilize my patio. You can get one of those outdoor rugs. I think they're made out of plastic. You can get them at Lowe's, and you know, pour like a bucket of water on it when you're done. Although usually if your kids are using a table, they're probably not going to get clay all over the floor. But yeah, so, but if you don't have a backyard or a patio, sometimes we use we work with clay at our dining room table, and I use that big tablecloth, and it's really important to do that beforehand. Also set up all the materials beforehand, before your children are working with the clay. And when they're first starting out, you may want to sit with them, not necessarily tell them exactly what to do, but you know, sit there with them in case they need any help. You can kind of just let your children explore it a little bit through their hands, and then slowly you can start to add different materials. You can also add a little bit of water. You can ask questions like, how does the clay change when you add a little bit more water? What happens when you know, cut it? You know, different types of questions that you can ask your children to get them thinking. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so I think I mentioned this already. I got this at the 99-cent store. It's just a tablecloth, and I don't know what material this is, but it's probably some sort of plastic. But it's great because it covers my entire table. My table is expandable, so if you have a smaller table, it can fit as well, but I expanded it to make room for it. And then, yeah, I don't know, it's pretty good. And for $1.99, I think it was. And see, as you can see, I already got paint on it, and I can just wipe it down. But what I wanted to show you guys, what I set up here right now, is my girls are going to be back pretty soon. They're with their dad right now, they're having some dad time, but my husband was off today. All I did here was just some recycled paper, because they already drew it on the other side. Turned it around, I taped it down. I think this one I got to push it over a little bit, but either way, you can kind of see I just put some markers, because they do like to sit. This is our dining room table, by the way. They do like to sit up here and just draw sometimes. Obviously, they have their art section in their playroom, but sometimes they like to be out here. So, all right, so I just move all my stuff that goes on my table, and you know, I set this up. This is really easy setup because this actually makes it really easy. Okay, now one easy thing you can do for clay work if you don't want to mess, because I've gotten that question a lot. Oh, I don't like the mess, I don't like the cleanup, you know, so on and so forth. Is these are litter boxes, cat litter boxes that I picked up at the 99-cent store. Now you can get bigger ones. I prefer bigger ones, and like
not as deep, but this is what I have right now. And I like to have these handy because I've seen people buy these on Amazon. You're better off just paying a dollar for these at the 99-cent store. And we have a few of these because we host so many art, like, I don't know, art parties or whatever with my kids' friends. So we have quite a few of these because we have a big table in our backyard as well. This is a very simple setup. I'm going to probably add a couple more things. And this isn't always the type of clay that I use. I sometimes use red clay. There's gray clay you can buy on Amazon. And I'll link some down below. And I'll continue to do more videos in regards to clay because I've gotten requests for this. But this is the basic air dry clay that you can get by Crayola. This is a good one to start with. There's no baking. It dries pretty hard, I would say. Let me show you guys a sample. I'm gonna open it up and show you guys a little bit about like what it feels like. It's different from Play-Doh. So if your kids are used to using Play-Doh, this is a little different. It is still kind of soft, but what I usually do is I add a little cup of water here. And as you can see, it's gonna be harder for Maya than it is for Lyric, who's almost 5. Maya's only 2, so it's a little harder, but this stuff is still pretty good and it's very relaxing, guys. This will occupy your kids for a long time. So what I do is I take a chunk smaller for Maya. I'll put it in here, put in some water, a little cup of water, and I've taught them just to dab their hands in the water a little bit, then put it on the clay, and then they're able to, work with it a little bit easier. This is something that Lyric made. It's not like, this is hard. I guess if you dropped it, it would definitely break. But, yeah, I mean, they can paint it. They can kind of do, she puts stones in here, glass stones and shells and tree twigs and stuff. But for now, what I did is I put these out and I put in some beads, regular wooden beads, some wire that I got from the 99-cent store, I think, and I just cut it. And then I put in some natural stuff, some leaves. I'm probably gonna add a couple more natural stuff, some shells, acorns, rocks, whatever. Here is clay tools. This is mainly for Lyric, although Maya will probably try to using this. This is not sharp. Okay, and then here I just put in some pebbles. Okay, and then I'm also going to put in these tools that I forgot to mention so they can pound the clay down if they want. These ones so they can roll it, and these ones if they want to cut it with this. Obviously Lyric has those tools. And then there's one thing I'm forgetting here. The last thing I forgot was some scissors. These are for Maya. These are a little safer. And then for Lyric, although Maya can surprisingly use those already. But either way, these are the only ones I can find. So, okay, so yeah, so that's pretty much it for the setup. Okay, and after you have a ball, what do? What do you think you do?
Slide it down.
You could do it that way. Was there another way you can do it to make a hole?
Push it with your thumb.
Yes, that's a great idea. Push down with your thumb. If you have to use water, you can. What are you doing, Maya, over there?
House. That's a cool house.
So when I first started, allowing my kids to play with clay, particularly Lyric, I usually will start with just giving them a piece of clay, and I usually don't give them instructions. The only thing I definitely do say is that it's not food. It's not something you put in your mouth. It's in order for us to play with. And that's definitely one thing I will always remind, especially Maya, who's 2, but I would tell that to Lyric as well when she was younger. Now she doesn't put anything in her mouth, obviously. Both my girls actually don't put things in their mouth from a very young age, but whatever. Either way, that's something you definitely want to mention to your kids. With Maya, I started her off, I don't know what age, but right now she's 2 and she's used clay quite a few times. So I don't remember the exact age. One of the main benefits is that it's extremely relaxing, and I actually get in there with them when we are doing any kind of clay work because, well, it's a lot of fun. Clay is very natural. It has a very different feel to it. So it's different from Play-Doh. And some clay you can add water and mush it up and squeeze it. It's just really a different experience for kids. It's great for hand-eye coordination. It gives your child a tactile experience, and just, you know, them manipulating the clay encourages muscles in their hands. There's a lot of math involved in clay work, encourages experimentation. It's also very, very much open-ended. So they usually will sit there for longer periods of time and work with a piece of clay, you know, trying to manipulate it, squishing it, flattening it, allows for your child to learn to be able to focus longer and work with their attention span. And a lot of times when, you know, maybe Lyric or Maya's having a challenging time, I would put out some clay, and I don't know, they just really like it. It's also really good for creative storytelling. So usually, for example, Lyric will make something and then afterwards we'll talk about it. She'll tell me a story. She'll tell me what she was thinking. So all kinds of different things. It's just a lot of fun, guys.
Mommy, look, I made a ball.
You made a ball.